Have you ever felt like your digestive system isn't quite as predictable as it used to be? Maybe you've noticed little changes, a bit more bloating after meals, or just a general feeling that things aren't moving along as smoothly as they once did. It's something many of us start to experience as we get older, and it can impact everything from our comfort levels to our energy and even our mood. We often put these things down to just getting older, but what if there's a simple, delicious way to help support our bodies and feel better from the inside out? Well, there is, and it starts in a place you might not immediately think of, your gut. You see, our gut is home to trillions of tiny living organisms, bacteria, yeasts, and viruses, collectively known as the gut microbiome. Think of it as a bustling internal ecosystem, and believe it or not, the balance of this ecosystem plays a huge role in our overall health. It helps us digest food, absorb nutrients, supports our immune system. A huge part of our immunity is actually in our gut, and can even influence our brain health and mood. As we age, various factors can start to shift the balance of this delicate ecosystem. Changes in diet, activity levels, medications, and even stress can reduce the number of beneficial bacteria and allow less helpful ones to thrive. When this balance is off, it can contribute to those digestive discomforts we talked about, but it can also have wider effects, like impacting how well we absorb vital vitamins and minerals, or how effectively our immune system can protect us. The good news is that we can actively support our gut microbiome by introducing more of those friendly, beneficial bacteria. These are what we call probiotics. You've probably heard the term before, it's become quite popular, but sometimes it sounds a bit technical or like something you only get in a pill. The truth is, some of the best and most natural sources of probiotics come from real, everyday foods that have been around for centuries. These foods are not only packed with these helpful microbes but often offer a whole host of other nutrients that are particularly important for seniors. In this video we're going to explore some of the very best probiotic foods you can easily add to your diet right now. We'll talk about what makes them special, what to look for when you're choosing them at the grocery store, and simple, tasty ways to enjoy them. These aren't complicated or expensive ingredients. They're accessible foods that can make a real difference in how you feel every day, helping to support your digestion, boost your immunity, and maybe even put a little more spring in your step. Let's start with one of the most well-known and widely available probiotic foods out there, yogurt. Now, not all yogurts are created equal when it comes to probiotics, and that's an important distinction. We're talking about yogurts that contain live and active cultures. These are the beneficial bacteria that are still alive and present in the yogurt when you eat it. Look for labels that specifically mention live and active cultures, or list specific bacterial strains like Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacterium, or Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus, which are the traditional starter cultures for yogurt, though their probiotic effects can vary depending on the strain. Why is yogurt such a great choice for seniors? Well, beyond the probiotics that help promote a healthy balance in your gut, yogurt is also an excellent source of calcium and protein. Calcium is crucial for maintaining strong bones, which becomes increasingly important as we age. Protein is vital for muscle maintenance and repair, helping to keep you strong and active. Many yogurts are also fortified with vitamin D, which works hand in hand with calcium for bone health and also supports immune function. When choosing yogurt for its probiotic benefits, it's really important to steer clear of varieties loaded with added sugars. Those fruit on the bottom or heavily flavored yogurts often contain more sugar than you need, which can actually feed the less beneficial bacteria in your gut and counteract the good effects of the probiotics. Plain, unsweetened yogurt, whether it's dairy or a non-dairy alternative made with live cultures, is your best bet. You can always add your own sweetness and flavor with fresh fruit, a drizzle of honey or maple syrup, or a sprinkle of cinnamon. Adding plain yogurt to your daily routine is incredibly easy. Enjoy a bowl for breakfast topped with berries and nuts. Use it as a base for smoothies. It makes them wonderfully creamy and adds a probiotic boost. Swap sour cream or mayonnaise for plain yogurt in dips, salad dressings, or as a topping for savory dishes. It's versatile, satisfying, and a simple way to introduce those helpful bacteria to your system. Just a note, heating yogurt can kill the live cultures, so it's best to enjoy it cold or at room temperature to get the full probiotic benefit. Now, if you like yogurt but are looking for something a little different, or perhaps something with an even wider variety of beneficial microbes, let's talk about kefir. Think of kefir as yogurt's slightly more liquid, often tangy cousin. It's a fermented milk drink, though you can find water kefir and non-dairy versions too, that's made by fermenting milk with kefir grains. These aren't actual grains like wheat or rice, but rather a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast that look a bit like cauliflower florets. What sets kefir apart often is the sheer diversity and number of probiotic strains it contains compared to many yogurts. While yogurt typically has a few strains of bacteria, kefir can have many more strains of both bacteria and beneficial yeasts, making it a powerhouse for supporting a diverse gut microbiome. This greater diversity is often linked to broader health benefits. For seniors, kefir offers similar benefits to yogurt. It's a good source of calcium, protein, and often vitamin D. But because of the fermentation process, it can sometimes be easier for people with lactose sensitivity to digest than regular milk or even some yogurts, as the bacteria help break down the lactose. It's also hydrating and can be a refreshing way to get your probiotics. Like yogurt, it's best to choose plain, unsweetened kefir to avoid added sugars. Kefir has a distinct tangy, slightly effervescent taste that some people love right out of the bottle. If you find the taste a bit strong on its own, it's fantastic in smoothies. Blend it with fruit, spinach, or a little bit of juice. You can also use it in overnight oats, mix it into salad dressings, or even use it in baking, though like yogurt, the heat will reduce the probiotic count. Starting with a small amount, say half a cup a day, and gradually increasing is a good way to introduce it to your system, especially if you're new to fermented foods. So we've started with two familiar and easy to incorporate options, yogurt and kefir. They are excellent ways to introduce beneficial bacteria into your diet and support your gut health, bringing with them all those wonderful knock-on effects for digestion, immunity, and overall vitality. But these are just the beginning when it comes to delicious probiotic foods that can make a real difference. There are other fantastic fermented options out there that offer different flavors, textures, and combinations of beneficial microbes. So we've started with yogurt and kefir, which are fantastic entry points into the world of probiotic-rich foods, offering that creamy texture and familiar taste while boosting your gut health. But the truth is, the benefits of fermentation and the wonderful microbes it creates aren't limited to dairy. There's a whole other category of delicious, tangy foods that can bring different types of beneficial bacteria to your gut party, and they often come packed with extra vitamins and fiber from vegetables. Let's dive into one that's been around for centuries, particularly popular in Eastern European traditions, and that's sauerkraut. Now, you might picture it only alongside a hot dog, but traditional, unpasteurized sauerkraut is a true gut health hero. What is it really? It's essentially just finely shredded cabbage that's been fermented by lactic acid bacteria. These bacteria, naturally present on the cabbage leaves, convert the sugars in the cabbage into lactic acid, which preserves the cabbage and creates that distinct sour flavor. Why is this simple fermented cabbage so good for you, especially as you get older? Firstly, like other fermented foods, it's a source of diverse probiotic bacteria. The specific strains can vary depending on how it's made, but they generally contribute to a healthier, more balanced gut flora. A well-functioning gut can mean less bloating, more regular bowel movements, which can be a common concern as we age, and better absorption of nutrients from the food you eat. Beyond the probiotics, cabbage itself is incredibly nutritious. It's a fantastic source of fiber, which is crucial for digestive health and can help keep things moving smoothly. Fiber also helps you feel full and can play a role in managing blood sugar levels. Cabbage is also rich in vitamins C and K. Vitamin C is a powerful antioxidant that supports your immune system and skin health, while vitamin K is important for bone health and blood clotting. When cabbage is fermented, the process can sometimes even enhance the bioavailability of certain nutrients, making them easier for your body to absorb. Now, here's the crucial part when choosing sauerkraut for its probiotic benefits. It must be raw and unpasteurized. Pasteurization, which is a heating process used to kill harmful bacteria and extend shelf life, also kills the beneficial probiotic bacteria we're after. So, look for sauerkraut in the refrigerated section of your grocery store. The label should say raw, unpasteurized, or naturally fermented. Sauerkraut found on regular shelves in cans or jars has almost certainly been pasteurized and won't offer the same probiotic punch, though it might still have some vitamins and fiber. Adding raw sauerkraut to your diet is surprisingly easy and versatile. You don't need to eat a huge amount. Even a forkful or two with a meal can make a difference. It makes a vibrant, tangy topping for salads, sandwiches, or wraps. You can add it to grain bowls or serve it alongside roasted vegetables or grilled meats. Some people even enjoy a small spoonful on its own before a meal as a digestive aid. Just remember, like yogurt, heating raw sauerkraut will kill the live cultures, so it's best to add it to dishes after cooking, or simply enjoy it cold. The tangy flavor can be a wonderful counterpoint to richer foods and really awaken your taste buds. Moving from Europe to Asia, specifically Korea, we find another incredibly popular and potent fermented vegetable dish, kimchi. Kimchi is often called the national dish of Korea, and it's a staple at almost every meal. While there are hundreds of varieties of kimchi made from different vegetables, the most common type is made from fermented Napa cabbage, radishes, and a variety of seasonings like garlic, ginger, red pepper flakes, gochugaru, and often fermented seafood paste. Like sauerkraut, kimchi is naturally fermented by lactic acid bacteria, making it a fantastic source of probiotics. The fermentation process for kimchi is often more complex, and the addition of various vegetables and spices can contribute to a wider range of beneficial microbes compared to simpler ferments. This microbial diversity is considered a key factor in supporting a robust and resilient gut microbiome, which is great news for overall health as we age. Beyond the probiotics, kimchi is a nutritional powerhouse. It's low in calories and high in fiber, supporting digestive health. The vegetables it's made from contribute essential vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin K, and B vitamins as well as minerals. The spices commonly used, like garlic and ginger, also bring their own set of potential health benefits, including anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. The combination of probiotics, fiber, vitamins, and beneficial compounds from the spices makes kimchi a truly nutrient-dense food. Just like with sauerkraut, if you're seeking the probiotic benefits from kimchi, you need to look for traditionally fermented, unpasteurized versions. These are typically found in the refrigerated section of Asian grocery stores or increasingly in the health food section of larger supermarkets. The flavor of kimchi can range from mildly spicy to very spicy, depending on the amount of red pepper used, and it has a complex, tangy, slightly sour taste. If you're sensitive to spice, look for milder varieties or start with just a small amount. Incorporating kimchi into your diet can add a wonderful burst of flavor and a probiotic boost. It's traditionally eaten as a side dish with rice and other Korean foods, but it's incredibly versatile. You can add it to stir-fries, add at the end. Mix it into fried rice, use it as a topping for eggs or avocado toast, put it in soups or stews, again, add towards the end or as a topping if you want to preserve probiotics, or even use the brine in dressings or marinades. A small amount can go a long way in adding zest and beneficial bacteria to your meals. So, we've explored the tangy world of fermented cabbage with sauerkraut and the spicy, complex flavors of kimchi, adding more diverse probiotic options beyond yogurt and kefir. These are just a couple of examples of how simple fermentation can transform humble vegetables into incredibly healthy, gut-supportive foods. And the great thing is, there are even more delicious fermented foods out there, offering different tastes and textures, all contributing to that important goal of nurturing your inner ecosystem. So, we've ventured into the wonderful world of fermented vegetables with tangy sauerkraut and spicy kimchi, seeing how simple cabbage and other greens can transform into probiotic powerhouses. But the magic of fermentation doesn't stop there. It can work wonders on other ingredients too, including legumes like soybeans, turning them into incredibly nutritious and gut-friendly foods that are particularly beneficial as we navigate our later years. Let's talk about one that's a cornerstone of Japanese cuisine and has gained popularity worldwide for its depth of flavor and health benefits. Miso. You've probably had miso soup in a Japanese restaurant, but miso itself is a paste, traditionally made by fermenting soybeans with salt and a type of fungus called koji. Sometimes grains like rice or barley are also included in the fermentation process, leading to different varieties of miso. Some lighter and sweeter, others darker and richer. Why is this fermented soybean paste so good for your gut? Like the other foods we've discussed, traditional, unpasteurized miso contains live and active probiotic cultures. The specific strains can vary depending on the type of miso and how it's made, but they contribute to that healthy gut microbiome we're aiming for. A balanced gut can help with digestion, nutrient absorption, and even support immune function, which becomes increasingly important as we age. Beyond the probiotics, miso offers other valuable nutrients. As it's made from soybeans, it's a source of plant-based protein and fiber. The fermentation process can also make the nutrients in soybeans more available for your body to absorb. Miso contains various vitamins and minerals, including B vitamins, vitamin K, and manganese. And while it is high in sodium, you typically use it in small amounts, often diluted in liquids like soup. The most common way to enjoy miso is in miso soup, a comforting and nourishing dish. However, just like with sauerkraut and kimchi, there's a crucial point to remember if you want to get the probiotic benefits. You need to use unpasteurized or living miso and avoid boiling it. High heat will kill the beneficial bacteria. So, when making miso soup, You typically add the miso paste after the soup has finished simmering and is just gently warming before serving. Look for miso in the refrigerated section of your grocery store or Asian market, and check the label for terms like unpasteurized, living, or traditionally fermented. But miso is far more versatile than just soup. Its savory, umami-rich flavor can enhance many dishes. You can whisk it into salad dressings, use it in marinades for vegetables, fish, or poultry, create sauces for stir-fries, again add at the end. Or even mix a little into dips or spreads. A small spoonful can add incredible depth and a boost of probiotics to your meals. Experiment with different types. White miso is milder and slightly sweet, perfect for lighter dishes, while red or barley miso is stronger and richer, great for heartier soups and glazes. Now, let's move to another fascinating fermented food that also comes from soybeans, but with a completely different texture and origin: tempeh. Hailing from Indonesia, tempeh is made by fermenting cooked soybeans with a specific type of mold called rhizopus. This mold binds the soybeans together into a dense, firm, cake-like block. Unlike tofu, which is made from soy milk, tempeh uses the whole soybean, making it incredibly nutritious. While tempeh is a fermented food, and the fermentation process does introduce some beneficial bacteria and make the soybeans easier to digest, it's typically cooked thoroughly before eating, steamed, fried, baked, or grilled. This means that the number of live, active probiotic cultures in the final dish might be lower than in raw sauerkraut, kimchi, or unheated miso. However, the fermentation still offers significant benefits. It breaks down phytic acid in soybeans, which helps your body absorb minerals better. It also acts as a prebiotic, providing fiber and compounds that feed the beneficial bacteria already in your gut. So, even when cooked, tempeh contributes to a healthy gut environment. Tempeh is a nutritional powerhouse, especially valuable for seniors. It's an excellent source of complete plant-based protein, providing all the essential amino acids your body needs. This is crucial for maintaining muscle mass and strength as we age. It's also packed with fiber, which aids digestion, helps regulate blood sugar, and can contribute to a feeling of fullness. Tempeh is a good source of iron and calcium, two minerals that can be particularly important for bone health and energy levels later in life. Because of its firm texture, tempeh is very versatile in cooking. It doesn't crumble like tofu often does. You can slice it, cube it, or even crumble it to resemble ground meat. It takes on flavors beautifully, so marinating it before cooking is a popular approach. You can pan-fry it until golden brown and crispy, bake it, grill it for a smoky flavor, or add it to stir-fries, stews, and curries. Its slightly nutty, earthy flavor and satisfying texture make it a wonderful addition to vegetarian and vegan meals, or simply as a nutritious protein source for anyone. So, we've seen how fermentation can transform soybeans into diverse and beneficial foods like miso and tempeh, adding different textures, flavors, and nutritional profiles to our repertoire of gut-friendly options. These foods, alongside the yogurts, kefirs, sauerkraut, and kimchi we've already talked about, really highlight the variety available when you start exploring the world of fermented foods. And the great news is, there are still even more delicious and unique options out there that can help nurture your gut health and overall well-being. So, we've journeyed through the diverse landscape of fermented foods, from creamy yogurts and tangy kefirs to vibrant sauerkraut, spicy kimchi, umami-rich miso, and hearty tempeh. Each one offers a unique way to introduce those beneficial bacteria into your system, supporting your gut health in different ways. But the world of fermentation is vast, and there are still more delightful and gut-friendly options out there just waiting to be explored and added to your plate. Think about pickles, for instance. Now, I'm not talking about the bright green ones you find on most burger joints, which are usually made by soaking cucumbers in vinegar. While delicious, those typically don't contain live probiotics because the vinegar pickling process doesn't rely on bacterial fermentation in the same way. We're talking about traditionally pickled vegetables, often made simply with vegetables, water, and salt. This creates a brine that allows naturally present lactic acid bacteria to thrive and ferment the vegetables. This kind of fermentation doesn't just preserve the vegetables, it transforms them. The bacteria break down sugars, producing lactic acid, which gives the characteristic tangy flavor and acts as a natural preservative. More importantly, if these traditionally pickled vegetables are unpasteurized, meaning they haven't been heated to kill bacteria for longer shelf life, they will contain live and active probiotic cultures. Cucumbers are the most common, of course, but you can find or make traditionally fermented pickles from all sorts of vegetables: carrots, beets, radishes, green beans, and more. They offer a wonderful crunch and a burst of flavor that can brighten up any meal. Adding a forkful of fermented pickles to your sandwich, salad, or simply enjoying them as a snack can provide a dose of beneficial bacteria along with the vitamins and fiber from the vegetables themselves. Just like with sauerkraut and kimchi, look for labels that say, traditionally fermented, raw, unpasteurized, or find them in the refrigerated section of the grocery store, often in cloudy brine. That cloudiness is a good sign of microbial activity. Another fascinating fermented beverage that's gained a lot of traction is kombucha. You've likely seen it in the drinks aisle, often in colorful bottles. Kombucha is a fizzy, slightly sweet, slightly tart drink made by fermenting sweetened tea using something called a SCOBY, which stands for symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. It looks a bit like a rubbery disc, and it's the engine that drives the fermentation process, turning the tea into this unique beverage. During fermentation, the SCOBY consumes the sugar in the tea and produces a range of compounds, including organic acids, carbon dioxide, which makes it bubbly, and various strains of bacteria and yeast. Many of these bacteria are considered probiotics. The exact types and quantities can vary widely depending on the tea used, the fermentation time, and the specific SCOBY, but traditional, unpasteurized kombucha is a source of live cultures. For seniors, kombucha can be a refreshing alternative to sugary sodas or juices. It offers potential probiotic benefits for gut health, and some people find the organic acids it contains can aid digestion. When choosing a kombucha, look for brands that are labeled raw or unpasteurized to ensure the probiotics are still alive. Also, be mindful of the sugar content, as some commercially produced kombuchas can be quite high in added sugar. Opting for lower sugar varieties is usually a better choice. Start with small amounts, as the fizziness and acidity can be new to your system. So, we've now talked about quite a range of foods. Yogurts, kefirs, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh, traditionally pickled vegetables, and kombucha. This isn't an exhaustive list, of course. The world of fermented foods is rich and ancient. But these are some of the most accessible and well-regarded options for supporting your gut health. The real takeaway from exploring all these wonderful foods isn't that you need to eat all of them every day. That would be quite a feat. The key is variety and consistency. Each of these foods tends to contain different strains of beneficial bacteria, and just like a garden thrives with diverse plants, your gut microbiome benefits from a diverse range of microbes. Trying different probiotic foods throughout the week can help introduce a wider variety of beneficial bacteria into your system. And consistency is important too. While a single serving of yogurt or sauerkraut is good, incorporating probiotic-rich foods regularly into your diet is where you'll likely see the most sustained benefits. Maybe you have yogurt with breakfast a few times a week, add sauerkraut to your lunch sandwich, enjoy miso soup in the evening, or sip on some kombucha instead of your usual afternoon drink. Small, consistent efforts add up. Remember, the goal here is to nurture your gut, that incredible internal ecosystem that plays such a huge role in your overall well-being, from digestion and nutrient absorption to supporting your immune system and even influencing your mood. As we get older, our digestive systems can become a little less efficient, and our gut microbiome can shift. Giving it a helping hand with these beneficial foods can make a real difference in how you feel day to day, potentially leading to better digestion, more regular bowel movements, and a stronger sense of vitality. Don't feel overwhelmed by all the options. Start small. Pick one or two foods that appeal to you and try incorporating them into your meals. See how you feel. Listen to your body. Maybe you find you love the tang of sauerkraut, or the creaminess of kefir, or the unique flavor of miso. Finding probiotic foods that you genuinely enjoy is the easiest way to make them a regular part of your diet. Making simple, positive changes like adding these foods isn't about following a strict diet or denying yourself things you love. It's about nourishing your body, supporting its natural functions, and empowering yourself to feel your best. It's about embracing the wisdom of traditional foods and using them to enhance your health journey as you navigate these vibrant years. We hope this deep dive into the best probiotic foods for seniors has given you some exciting new ideas and the confidence to explore them. Your health is your greatest wealth, and taking these steps to support your gut is a truly valuable investment. We'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of these foods? Do you have a favorite probiotic food we didn't mention? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Your insights could help others in our community. If you found this video helpful and informative, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who could benefit from this information. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more practical tips and advice on living a healthy, happy, and fulfilling life at any age. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Here's to nurturing your gut and living your best, most vibrant life.